Canaway. What is up, everybody? This is Damon D'Amico coming to you from Colorado. Sunny, little overcast, windy, and so hopefully you'll be able to hear me clearly most of the time. Hopefully you saw the first video, part 1 of The Truth. Brandon Vera, UFC champion. And this is part 2 about The Truth, because I wanted to just carry this message on. Another great messenger of our time once said in one of his songs, some of you will know who I'm talking about: don't let them fool you, don't let them school you. And don't get me wrong, some systems are in place for a reason, and I'm fine with that, and I agree with that. That's why I live in this beautiful country. But some systems were put into place with misled beliefs. That's what this is about. It's about the truth, and it's about people being misled. And we're talking about hemp, we're talking about CBD oil, we're talking about helping people. And this is what it's about. It's about caring for others. And when you see people misleading you and you're misled, you wonder, you're confused. And if you saw the last video, we talked a little bit about how the soils have been depleted over the years. And I grew up on a farm on 120 acres, and I'm sure there was plenty of generations before that where they grew every year and depleting the soils. And so if you paid attention to the last video, you know that the industrial hemp actually puts nutrients and vitamins and nutrients back into the soil as it grows. Therefore, the plants can feed off of the nutrients, and when they deplete the soil, then they would rotate the hemp back in, and it would go on and off that way every other season, or however they did it for years and years and years back in history. This is how they did it. And when we cut the hemp plant down and made it illegal, we stopped putting those vital nutrients back into the soils, and that is devastating. And this is something that we're talking about when you hear us say on much bigger scale than you could imagine. We're talking about the results and the consequences of certain people's actions, certain systems that were put in place. And I'm going to keep this message positive, so stay with me, because this is a very positive message. And what it is it's misleading other people's beliefs, and probably a lot of money and power and greed involved as well. So therefore there was 80 years of prohibition, hemp prohibition, because it was classified as a drug. But not anymore, because Obama, our President Obama, thank you, Mr. President, for passing the Farm Bill and saying that we can grow hemp in the United States once again. And that's big. That's very big. So all the farmers are growing hemp right now. That's great. For the first time in 80 years, the hemp prohibition's over. And that's big. The hemp industry is so massive. It is so big that you do not even understand it. So do your research, because that's what we're here to do. This is all about a message. I'm not here to sell you anything. You see anything that I can sell you other than my nice sweatshirt? You're not going to get that, because it's a one of a kind. Well, probably not one of a kind, but either way, listen to me. This is about a very big industry that was wiped off the face of the United States and a lot of the other countries as well, because they classified it as a drug. They made a big mistake. And what that did is it took all of the nutrients out of the soil, out of the earth, out of our land that we grow our vegetables, and our nutrients that we need to put in our body. They're not there anymore because we wiped off the vital plant that puts nutrients back into the soil. And this has been known for a long time, but we, for 80 some years, made the mistake of not growing it on our lands. Now, if you can imagine what that has done to people, to their genetics, to their DNA, over the generations, because there's several generations over an 80-year span, and that's got to alter your genes in one way or another, I would imagine. I could see a lot of things going on around our United States that probably weren't there before, and things have actually gotten worse and not better. And if you look at our healthcare system, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not here to make any medical claims, and you won't hear me make any medical claims. Not yet. And I told you in the last video. Okay. Not yet. So, the next thing I wanted to really talk to you guys about for a few minutes is, because we understand the nutrients and how vital the nutrients in our soils are. And if we take those out, we can imagine what it does to the human race. And why that is it's because of a thing called CBD, the cannabinoid. And the cannabinoid is something that needs to be in your body. It needs to go into your endocannabinoid system and turn little triggers on. And we actually have a patent. If you Google it, it's been a patent for a while now, actually. And the 507, look it up, Google it, the patent 507. It's the first medical patent for a plant called cannabis. So look it up and believe it, because that's the truth. And that's what we're talking about, is the CBD rich hemp oil, the award-winning, strongest, purest oil out there. So what you need to do is you need to do your research, and you need to go to the link below, down below in the description. It's called mycbdresearch.com. You need to go there and do your own research, because you're going to be amazed at what you see, what you learn. And I know this because I was, and it actually blew me away, and that's why I'm here trying to blow you away with some of these facts. So do your research. And by the way, take a look at the lake. If you saw the lake last time, this is a little bit of a different view, but we'll kind of go over there. So that's pretty cool, whatever, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the planet, the earth, and our children, our generations that we're trying to preserve this beautiful land. I mean, look at that. It's like, hear the birds in the background. So, getting back to the hemp oil, the CBD rich hemp oil. Here's another kind of blow your mind fact if you guys are sitting down. If you're not, sit down, because this is going to blow your mind. This is kind of how I look at it. Henry Ford had an oil from a hemp plant that fueled his vehicle. This is before all the data, before all the technology and science and studying of it. Before all that, he just had that CBD in him. He had that endocannabinoid system was probably working at its full potential, which is probably the case in a lot of situations with people in that era, if you think back about it, and kind of makes you wonder why they were so smart. So maybe it's the CBD, I don't know. But here's the deal. If we have a patent on this plant and it says it's a neuroprotectant and antioxidant, it's already done. So do your research. I'm not a doctor. But what I'm going to tell you is, when you do your research, you're going to want to get back to us. You're going to want to find out how we know this, where we're getting our data. And we're going to give you that data because we're a mecca. We're a mecca for the research, for the hemp, for the CBD oil. Not just the CBD oil, but all of hemp products in general. We're going to teach you some stuff about hemp and the possibilities with hemp. And that's what's cool, because there's so many possibilities. It's mind-boggling. Okay? Henry Ford had his fuel that long ago. Can you imagine all of the wars that we fought? Think about it, over the oil, and not the oil that you think I'm talking about, the oil of the hemp plant. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, we had an oil that did all these crazy things, like miraculous things, and we wiped it away. And instead we had alternatives, like fighting for oil. And so that's a whole nother topic, and we'll have to talk about that another time. But the other thing I wanted to talk about in this video, I was going to save it for the next video, but you know, I'm going to just carry on for about 2 more minutes, and maybe I'll just kind of get more detailed in the third video. But what kind of bothers me is, you know, we think about all those nutrients, all the vitamins that have been depleted from the soils that could have been put there by hemp plants. They could have. So we could have prevented that depletion of the nutrients just by planting the hemp and not fading out 80 years of natural harvesting. So we know that happened. And you culminate that with the pharmaceutical companies. Okay, the big farm. Okay? And you see all these toxic poisons that they're putting in people. And that's what they are. They're toxic poisons that temporarily fix an existing ailment but cause worse damage to the human body. Much more damage than people even know, because this is all new and we don't have evidence of what the side effects are, do we, doctors? So let's blow your mind, people. You culminate the fact that we're taking all the nutrients out of the soils because we don't plant hemp anymore for 80 years, generations. And we add that up with we combine that with the fact that we pump toxins in our body while we're not getting nutrients that we used to get for years and years. And you add that up and you think about what it does to the human body and why there's so many different people out there. And you think about it. It's a lack of CBD. It's a lack of cannabinoid going into your endocannabinoid system and turning on the mechanisms that need to trigger the systems in your body to do the right things. If you follow me. If you need more information, you need to go to my CBD research. You need to find out what I know. And I know a lot more because I'm doing my research. This isn't just a fluke thing or a fake kind of, oh, here, let me just put this out there and waste my time walking around filming a little video about nothing. People that know me know that I'm not wasting anybody's time right now. Okay, this is all about a message. I'm a messenger. I'm sending a message that I've been very, very, very alert to, to say the least. So, thank you, Billy Funk. Thank you, Brent Albine. Thank you, Seth Frazier. Thank you, Jeff Rogers. Thank you, Christopher Hussey, very much. Thank you, Christopher Hussey. Thank you, Charles Vest. Eric Green. There's so many of you guys that have inspired me, and they have turned on the gateway. You guys hear that? The gateway. You guys opened up those gateways with your CBDs, and I'm living proof of it. And I've been going a million miles an hour because of CBDs, but in a good way, not in a energy drink kind of way, not in a drug kind of way, but in a natural CBD high, literally. And if you're in Canaway already, you know one of those 75,000 people that are already in Canaway in the last 2 weeks, or excuse me, the last 2 months. That's going to blow your mind. But you know this. So do more research and keep digging deep, because it goes a lot further than that, people. And we're already at 15 minutes and I could just talk all day. But I'm doing my research and I'm learning things and I'm putting the puzzle pieces together. And this is just my opinion, okay? Do your own research and figure it out. And if you have any comments or questions, or if you want to join this movement, this is a hemp movement. Okay, this is a dedicated, full-time research machine. So get on board with us and don't waste any more time. Don't believe any more hype. Stop being fooled. Stop being misled. And hang out with some real people that are the real deal, that talk the truth, that speak the truth, that walk the walk, and get on board with us. And if you spent 15 minutes listening to this, don't waste any more time and get signed up. I'll get a hold of you and I'll reach out to you, and I'd love to meet you, and we're going to make this happen, and it's going to be a big movement. So get on board. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.